the news in Boston, head coach for Celtics, right? Going through a little bit of a drama. He got let go of his job. He was dating, or he was married to, or is currently married to Nia Long. And he decides to cheat on her with some random girl over in the organization. And I mean, you cheat on Nia Long with some random girl, and then the reason behind it was he said he was just horny. That was pretty much it, which is mind blowing. You know what I mean? But yeah, what are your thoughts?
What else could he say? Like, you feel me? Like, the nigga was horny. Like, we all know that. We knew that. I knew that. I knew that's why he would do that. I mean, if I was gonna do that, that's probably why I would do it. Like, what else can he say? But other than that, what else is crazy too is, bro, look, I think like the other lady he was cheating with had a husband too.
I didn't know that part. That's crazy.
Bro, I think she did, bro. I think I saw something that said something like that she had a husband too. That's what I'm saying, bro. Can you hear me?
No, now I can hear you. You muted yourself. What did you say?
I didn't mute it. I was getting a phone call. I just started going off on people for calling my phone in the middle of the podcast. Look, I'm going to run it back down because you couldn't hear me. In the middle of the podcast, y'all calling my phone. What the you want? Can't you see I'm out here getting a little bit big? I'm not worried about what you got going on. Leave me alone. I'm doing something right now. See, they calling my phone in the middle of the podcast. Fucking shit up, Izzy. Fucking shit up.
Hey, BG. I know they're ruining. I was like, what happened? Why'd you mute yourself? But anyways, let's pivot off of that. Let's go back. What were you gonna say?
Oh yeah, so okay, no, I was saying, see, I think she had a husband too. I was just saying, like, so man, I don't know. I ain't getting married.
So let me ask you this: like, what do you think about? And it doesn't have to be just women, but like men and women in general will think like, they're very egotistical. My partner, whoever I'm with, girlfriend, maybe whatever, is never going to cheat on me because like I make good money, I'm fine as heck, all heck, whatever. I've got this status. There's no way I can think, right? So what's your reasoning behind that situation, right? In parallel to like other women who think that would never happen.
Like, what do I think of women who thinks that would never happen to them?
Exactly.
I mean, how can you like how can you even think like that? Like, what the fuck? Like, bro, like, how a man naturally is, bro. We naturally want more than one, woman, but it just comes down to self-control. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so you got to be stupid if you think that this can't happen to you just because the way you look. That don't mean nothing. There's another woman out there that looks better than you. Just like, well, I don't know. I mean, I'm like top notch out here. I'm a little top notch. You know what I'm saying? So
low notch.
It's always gonna be somebody out there that look bigger and better than you. So you can't sit back there and think like, oh, just because I'm bad, I got this and I got that. This next person ain't gonna go out and do that. It's a matter of you choosing the right person, choosing somebody is really solid, somebody you really trust. And me, you can't trust them nowadays. That's what I'm saying. The other woman he was with had a husband. I think I read something like that's the way they got busted on the doorbell camera. He heard them having a little conversation or something on his doorbell's camera. Like, her husband heard bruh and her. So on the doorbell camera, like, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, bruh, she had a whole husband too. Like, that's just what's crazy about it. It's crazy.
I think very important on the shout out the Pivot podcast, but they were talking about like it has to like you just mentioned it's on the person, and you don't hit even like if you don't do it for them necessarily. Like for me, for example, like I do it because I don't want to cheat, like, for example, right? But for people that think that way, that it's because of them, no, the person has to have the desire not to do it. Because no matter who you are, and that's why for us, we're men of God, right? We know because we have fear of God, not because of the other person. Although that's a benefit of it, right? When we do stay loyal and faithful, that's not the reason why we do it, but because we know our relationship with God is more important. So that's what keeps us grounded. But yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. I mean, facts, like, like if I'm with somebody, and I really want to be serious, like I want to take it serious, like, I like want a godly relationship. Like, I want to center my relationship around God, bro. Like, it's not going to be them that's stopping me from going out and messing with other women. You know what I mean? Sleeping with other women. Because I could hide that from them all day. They'll never find out. Whatever you could do, whatever you do, you don't ever have to tell them. They may never find out. But God sees all. You know what I'm saying? God sees everything you're doing. You know what I mean? And the thing is, if you really want a godly relationship with this person, why would you go mess it up in front of God's eyes? Like you can hide it from them, but that don't mean nothing. You know what I mean? Like God see what you're doing, so He gonna come strip you. You know, He gonna come stripping from you. Like,
What do you think? What
because
do you
now
think
you
about like?
asking for something that you're not even being serious about. You know what I mean?
What do you think about people that um are in that situation, right? We're in a relationship and a woman is like always having these thoughts in her mind, like, oh, he's out there doing stuff with girls or whatever. You know how some women are. They always assume just because that women are going to approach you, right? That she's gonna assume the worst, that no matter what you're doing, she does not trust whatever because of the past relation. You know what I mean? That's always like really hard to deal with.
Some niggas be like that too. Some dudes be like that too. It go both ways, just tripping. But okay, but it comes to a point to where like, all right, bro, like that's on you. Like you gotta find somebody that you really know is solid, that you really trust, that you can really trust. You know what I'm saying? So you don't have to, when you're away from this person in the back of your head, always wondering what they're doing. You have to judge their character. You know what I mean? Like accordingly to see if you really want to be serious with this person. Like you don't want to be in that mindset, Brad, where you always tripping. Like, damn, I wonder what she doing. I want kind of how we was just talking about. I'm not gonna say no names, but kind of how we were just talking about. You know what I mean? Like you gonna chase her around. You know what I'm saying? Just because she want to be for the streets, she want to talk to all these dudes, she want to do this, do that, but you still want to be there. Like no, no, and get mad at other people, bro. You can't do that, bro. Like you can't do that.
And like you mentioned in some conversations out there in the universe. I mean, I'm not specifying anything, but it can put you in danger, right?
Facts, bro.
Put yourself in danger.
Bro. Messing with the wrong females can definitely, bro, can mess your life up, bro. You know what I'm saying? Doing that, like, so
That
that's that's
yeah.
a whole another factor too. Like that's something else that comes with this the whole entire situation. But that's a little deeper, than what we're talking about. We're just talking about plain just can you trust, this person? Like how do people like do that? I mean, and there you got people out there like that. I don't know, bro. I couldn't live like that. I couldn't be with no female always in my head, like wondering, like, what is she doing? Who's she with? Where's she at? What time is it? Like, nah, bro. Hell nah. Like, obviously, there's a reason, or in your heart, it's either you or it's them. It's plain and simple. It's either you or it's them, right? It's either you're tripping, bro. You're doing too much, or it's them. They just a shady person, and you know that. That's why you can't trust them. So it's plain and simple. It's black and white to me. Like it's either you or it's them. But one is something that ain't working. So it's not worth it. You feel me?
Right.
Like it's not worth your sanity, bro. Like none of that. You can't be out here like that.
At the end of the day, as a man, as man and woman, really, you just want peace. You know what I mean? You just want peace.
You can't be out
And
here like
so, like, that's why it's always important. We hear about it and we ignore it for so long, like, but you need to be equal yoke. It's in the Bible, it's equal yoke. The reason why God says that is because when you're equal yoke, you know what I mean? You're gonna be happier in the long run. That's why, like, actually, in certain
y'all
countries,
you're gonna be on the same page. You know what I
right,
mean?
right,
Understand, like you're not gonna be further ahead than this person in the ways of your thinking or in your faith. Like you're not gonna have to babysit them. You know what I mean?
yes, and that's a burden. I mean, we've all experienced this to some degree, like in a relationship, and you've had to kind of carry them along,
When you
and they don't
trying
know
to like
why.
drag them along, you
Right.
know what I'm saying? Like you trying to drag them, like you don't, yeah, you don't
And
get.
God's like, you don't have to do that. You don't have to put yourself in that situation where you're like constantly trying to remind him, pick him up, and all that stuff. And all that is
Facts.
good. But for the most part, like in
But
certain
it could
countries,
drain your energy. You know what I'm saying?
yes, yes.
Like,
And you need to be
and
happy and think
especially
about
like
yourself.
if they don't want to do it, you can't make them do it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I can understand if look, I can understand if this is a little bit different. I can understand if you find a little smooth little bitty, a little smooth little bitty. You know what I'm saying? Like, and she's not as far as you in your faith, but she's willing to learn. She's willing to sit down with you, and she wants to learn. You know what I mean? Not only but willing, but she wants to. You know what
And
I
it has
mean?
to be genuine, because some people, man, they want to fake whatever that is
They'll
to
do it
get to what
just
they
to be
want.
with
Yeah.
you or get what they
Right.
want. You know what I'm saying? Back, no, I'm speaking of like genuinely. Like, you
Yeah,
know what
yeah,
I mean?
yeah,
Like
yeah,
she
genuine.
genuinely like want to learn. She genuinely, wants to grow in her face. She don't know much, but you know what I'm saying? This is where she's looking to you, right? The leader, the man. right? So boom, as long as she wants to learn, like, you know, exactly. We in there. We we in there. You know what I'm saying? Hey, but yeah, so it's good. As long as you want to learn, it's good. As long as she's open to that. She may not be as deep into her faith as you, but if she's willing to at least, you know, try or open up and learn and, you know, read, then that's fine too. But if you run into them ones that just don't want nothing to do with it, then you just got to know that. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, you got
It's
to.
one of the hardest things. I'll tell you, it's one of the hardest things for people to do is to like know when someone is like, and we've all done this. I mean, I think it's people who go through this situation know that that person's probably not good for you, and then having to say like, no, that's very hard. You know what I mean? It's easier said than done.
Everybody's probably been through that. You know what I'm saying?
And
Everybody
you
been through
know
that.
exactly. We tell people like, hey, you shouldn't be with that person, right? But when they're going through that whole process, it's always different. But I mean, that's something. If we summarize everything that we've talked about, like pertaining to that situation, like trust God. If you're looking for a serious relationship with someone, make sure you pray about it first. Go to God, right, for everything. But that especially because that's the only person you're gonna get to choose to be like a family member. You know, everybody
Facts.
else you can't
That'll bring
choose.
you somebody, you know, decent in your life. Y'all be on the same page. You know why you on the same page? I'm gonna explain this too. Because it's like, think about this. In your relationship, right? You have her. This is her. This is you. This is God. God is the centerpiece, right? So the closer you move to God, the closer she moves to God, where are you guys going? You're getting closer too at the same time. So it's a triangle. God at the top, right? If you move closer to God, she's moving closer to God. What's happening between you two? You're both moving closer to each other too at the same time. So boom, you feel me? Like that's a little
The try
analogy for y'all. Y'all can use that one, but give me the credit, know where it came from. You know what I'm saying?
copyrighted, copy.
But it's facts though, you know.
Yeah,
If God is the centerpiece of your relationship, if you move closer to God and she moving closer to God, y'all can only be closer to each other.
that's how it should be. And that also means it's going to be different. You know, not every woman you see that looks good is going to be bringing you to God. You know what I mean? It'll be the opposite.
Oh, hell no. That's how the devil
And
gets you.
then
Like,
goes both ways. Yeah.
the devil gets you like this. I'm gonna send him a bad one. You
Yeah.
feel me? I'm gonna send him a bad one Izzy ain't never had. You know?
In your heart, you'd be like, man, I'm a converter. Like, and the whole
Man, you
time it's like
losing,
she's
man, you
converting
gonna
you too.
risk it all.
Right.
Shoot
Exactly.
the club up.
Oh man, I don't know what that is.